But anyway, look, so I got a prediction here because there's a team, my Atlanta Falcons, they play the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm anticipating this matchup, and I'm hoping the Atlanta Falcons win. I kind of see every game that they're playing right now as a must-win game, and I know that's a little dramatic, but no, man, I really say it's a must-win just because, right now, we know in the division of the NFC South, Falcons pretty much have control. They already beat the Saints. They beat the Buccaneers. They beat the Buccaneers twice, as a matter of fact. Panthers aren't really anybody to worry about. So it's like a clear, run for the Atlanta Falcons to take care of business. However, Dallas is one of those teams where you really don't know what to expect on a weekly basis. They may be really good. They may be really bad. You really don't know. And as far as the Falcons, so far from up to week 9, I've kind of seen that same type of situation where they might be really, really good or they might be really, really bad. You just really don't know yet. With the offense, thankfully, we've seen them click a little bit and get better and better each week. But as the offense has continued to get better, the defense has regressed. So that's the only thing that does concern me, is because now the offense seems like they're rolling, but we've seen them take steps back in the season. We've seen them go on a road and lose. We've seen them lose at home, which is just the one thing that you really, really don't want to do. But yet they somehow continue to find ways to play their worst football at home. I don't understand it. They played the Seahawks. They were at home against the Seahawks. They lost that game. Kansas City Chiefs was a good game. It was early on in the season. Same for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. But obviously, still some injuries that they're fighting through. Missing some linebackers, missing a defensive tackle. You got some questionable linebackers still. Not sure if Troy Anderson is going to play, but I think if he does, it could be a huge help. Obviously, because getting Troy Anderson is getting a person who can hunt down on a run. And when I say hunt down, I mean he go get the quick screen passes. He go get the outside runs. He's gonna wreak havoc. He's gonna mess some things up at linebacker and stop the run. A lot of people don't really like the way he drops back in his pass protections, but I think that's just a kind of picky type of thing that people are choosing and picking on him about. When they say he's not good at covering the pass. We've seen him cover the pass multiple times when he was healthy so far this season, and he did a great job at it, hell of a job, as a matter of fact. And I just immediately think of that Saints game when they played, and that's a team where I thought they were going to get picked apart by the pass, but no, actually he made a huge play, got some interceptions, was just in the mix a lot, and ultimately helped the Falcons defense. But this is the main concern for me coming into this game against the Cowboys is the defense. Jimmy Lake has said, hey, there's nothing to worry about. He said the Falcons are going to continue to get better and better on the defensive end. This is how things go during the season. But bro, I can't stress it enough. It's week 8. It's week 8 in the NFL, and the defense still looks shaky. The better the offense has gotten, the defense has looked worse and worse and worse. And I know there's some injuries too, because we don't have our other safety, Justin Simmons, right now, who's he's still going through his injury things. But above all, they got to get it together. Like, I'm not afraid of Dak Prescott, but the last thing I want to do is get beat by the Cowboys. That's the last thing I want to do. But they need to win this game, man. I say it's kind of a must win, just because right now, 5-3, you want to get as far away from 500 as you can in the win column. But right now, you play the Cowboys, and then you have another game after that against the New Orleans Saints. And you're going to be in New Orleans, but I know the Saints haven't been pretty good, but still, man, it's a rivalry. It's a divisional game. You just never know how it's going to turn out, and you're going to be on the road. So you just got to take care of business and try and be as consistent as possible. You still got the Vikings headed up in the schedule. So other than the Cowboys and the Vikings, these are the two games where I'm like, it's circled and like, hey, some things, it's a possible L. It's a possible L. But this just, the reason I say it's a must win, because you don't want to end up dropping your guard against these teams who are supposed to win. Sometimes these L's happen against teams where they're just playing the best football of their life against you, and you don't want that to be the case after you're already done had 2 L's that set you back. So you go against a team like the Los Angeles Chargers, and all of a sudden Justin Herbert is like, oh, I found the rhythm, I'm turning into Pat Mahomes. Then, it's just tragic. That's another L you got to put in the loss column, and that's bringing you closer to 500 in a bad way. So I just say all that to say, man, hey, Atlanta Falcons got to go ahead and get this dub. Them boys got to win. And another team too, the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be an outstanding game. I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I think I'm going to go with the Lions to win this game, man. Like I said, Lions, best team in football right now. This team is unshakable. They lost multiple people on defense, on the defensive line. You have half of the star guys who's supposed to be on that defensive line not playing, but yet the Lions has still looked like juggernauts. Nobody is going to be able to keep up with the Detroit Lions in scoring the ball, and that's going to be the biggest thing because although, the Packers might have Jordan Love playing, I don't think Jordan Love is going to be able to keep up with the Lions offense. I don't think he can put points on the board in a hurry like the Lions can if they need to. I'm predicting the Lions to end up smacking the Packers, and this is going to be the thing that turns my take into gold because I've said the Lions are going to end up becoming assholes. Every team has that. Once they start off, they're bad, and teams are happy they're winning. But how happy are you going to be when you play the Lions all the time and they're smacking your team every single year? 4 consecutive years in a row, they're beating your team by 34 points. How happy are you going to be then? Because that's what we're heading to. And I think that's what we're going to get a glimpse of in this matchup against the Packers. Packers, they got a solid defense too. But I think Jordan Love, he's been on a turnover run in these past few games. And I don't think he's going to have enough to really break down the Lions defense. Like Jordan Love, they already mentioned he hasn't been practicing, and he just decided he is going to actually play in the game come Sunday. But no, I don't think it's going to be good. So far, 6 interceptions at home. The game is in Green Bay, which puts Detroit at a huge advantage. But every game that he's played so far this season, he's thrown at least 1 interception. So I think you cannot give the Lions extra possessions. You continue to give them extra possessions, they're going to score. They're going to run it up. So, hey, I'm going with the Lions to win this. I think they got it all under control. And ultimately, above all, I think the Lions end up winning this game by like 24. Yeah, it's that simple. I know it sounds brutal, but big rivalry game, big division game. Lions not playing no games. This is the best team in football, and I'm not ashamed to say it at all. I'll be honest about it. Any day, anytime. Just let me know. All right, look, man. Hey, shoot us a quick take. 219-413-9405. Leave a quick take, and of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. Other than that, man, look, I'm going to leave y'all with this. I appreciate you for kicking it, especially if you listen to the long episodes. If you listen to the little sections of the episodes too, that's cool. I ain't mad about it. I'm just glad you be tuning in, tapping in with me, to chop it up about sports. But I'm going to leave y'all with this, man. Sometimes you just, I love to leave on a positive note. So I'm going to leave you with this. Sometimes you just got to find a bright side of the situation. Whatever it is, how dark it may look, doesn't matter. Sometimes you got to find a bright side. There's always a bright side, regardless of what it is. You get hit by a car and you can't walk away, at least you're still breathing. You trip and fall in public, at least you can get back up and keep walking. So there's always some sort of bright side. So I'm going to just leave y'all with that positive message to always try and find a bright side regardless of the situation, and just try and stay positive out there. But go ahead, spread that positivity to somebody you know, man. And also, to spread this podcast episode, send this to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, a coworker, a friend, anyone you know who will enjoy sports, especially if I talked about their team, their player, or their region. But other than that, I'm going to leave y'all, and I'll be back later on next week. I will see y'all later on next week, and so on, and so on, and so on.